Welcome to True Crime and Red Wine. We're your hosts, Britton Polk
and Leslie Winsman. If you found us, you can expect some true crime,
rad mysteries,
definitely some murder,
and you guessed it, red wine.
We're just two best friends with a true crime obsession, so pour yourself a glass, sit back, and enjoy.
There may be some graphic content and explicit language, so put in the AirPods and let's get to it.
It's my life.
You live on Amazon.
I really do. Like, Jeff Bezos, where's my gift card?
You keep his lights on if we're getting...
For... Rude.
Excuse you.
Not ladylike.
She's classy like her mom. All right, first episode. True crime and red wine. And we're literally laying in Leslie's bed.
We're snuggling.
We're doing something. I don't know if it's snuggling.
We are drinking. Weird.
We are drinking red wine. As our name would imply, it's our first episode.
So cheers.
Cheers. Oh, I feel like that was a good cheers.
That was a good cheers.
And right above the microphone.
Nailed it.
No take two necessary. Okay, so we're going to tell you about why we're here. I think our name says it, but
yeah.
In case anyone's here on accident, why are we here?
Because we love true crime like weirdos, and we really love red wine.
We do. We love a lot of drinks, but red wine rhymed really well.
And it's delicious. Like, if you're going to snuggle in bed with your best friend, it has to be red wine. Like, tequila just doesn't hit the spot.
I hope no one thinks we're just saying that we're snuggling in bed.
No, it's real.
Like, we're really snuggling in bed.
Like, with my dog on her feet, we're in the bed.
It's just what we do. I think it's the first time we've done it, but I feel like this should be a regular practice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like officially we should make it ritual that when we record, it must be in a bed.
New regular.
Okay, great. Maybe in a resort on a bed somewhere, like not with our children in the background.
Fiji.
Great.
Actually sounds appropriate.
That episode 2. We'll get to it. So...
You're paying, though.
Great. I'll let Dallas know.
Thank you, Dallas.
You're welcome. Yes, I'll let her know. So I'm Britton.
And I'm Leslie.
Leslie. And we're best friends.
It's Leslie with an S, not a Z, as Britton will pronounce it.
Leslie. Or you can call her Leslie.
No, you can't. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, but people have a hard time with Britton because how did you used to say Britton?
Britton.
No. We've had this conversation.
Nope.
That you were like, it used to be kind of hard because I would want to say like Britton. We've talked about this.
But I still say Britton.
But you were like, it's hard for me because I want to say Britton. And it's Britton.
Whatever.
Maybe if we ever have listeners in Britain, they can confirm how we should be pronouncing my name. I'm 34 years old. Someone help me with how to say my name.
I don't know how to say it.
It's hard. So, red wines, I don't think I'm drinking anything fancy. I'm not even going to act like it. I'm just going to let you know that it cost under $10. It is from Kroger, and it is a Malbec, and I'm enjoying my cheap red wine.
It's delicious.
It is. It's called Chalkboard, and it is delicious grapes from the year 2019.
Picked right before it was put into the bottle.
Right before the Rona came and ruined everything. Leslie's is more fancy and older.
No. Okay. So mine is Winter's Hill Pinot Noir. It's a 2015. It's from Oregon, which I just educated Britton on. Is the place to get your Pinot Noir.
Leslie's a lot more fancy than I am. So.
I'm really not. It was honestly, I was watching ID Channel and it was a First Leaf ad. Like if you bought the first time, it was like $35 for 6 bottles. I said, yes. So
yeah, but you knew that you should get Oregon. Why do you know that?
Only because I worked in a steakhouse and we had to take those classes.
I didn't take any classes and I am ill in the education department, so I just drink whatever is like $10 from H-E-B or Kroger. So you're welcome, Kroger and H-E-B, for my contribution.
There's nothing wrong with a good yellowtail. I'm just saying.
Listen, I feel like that. Okay, I'm not going to diss Barefoot, but it's like, I got to draw the line.
Barefoot definitely gives me a headache.
I'm also a beer drinker, but for the sake of this, I'm going to drink all the red wine. I do love red wine, just I'm a beer girl. So we're just gonna both tell you a story. We're gonna talk about a rando true crime story that Leslie and I clearly have our favorites. You know, like we both love true crime, forensic files, ID, anything, all the Dateline, all the unsolved mysteries, which I think we've both pretty much caught up on all the new episodes.
Oh yeah, one night.
Obsessed. So good.
So-
What was your favorite? Mine was number 3.
Actually,
That was the French one.
I know that was haunting and very similar to the one I'm going to talk about tonight.
Fantastic. So we've decided to not educate one another on what we're
We don't know.
reading about.
I have no idea what she's going to talk about, but
I've in fact never heard of mine. Have you heard of yours, or did you just find it and research it?
I had seriously I'd never heard about this in all of my years of being addicted to ID. I'd never heard about him. And then I looked up like the most horrendous cases.
Of course you did. That's what
my
happens
personality.
Yeah, when you're a true crime addict, like, what are nightmares? Like, I watch nightmares constantly on TV during the day. No, I don't. You gotta regulate because the kids are home so much now.
Yeah, no, ID is definitely like my little reward at the end of the day. Sometimes I get on this machine here, this cardio machine. I torture myself. My reward is that I get to watch.
Do you watch it through tears while you're on the machine? Crying.
Lots of profanity.
Yeah, ID channels for at night now. Used to when the kids went to school, we would like get to watch it during the day. But
what is school now?
I know. So here we are. We watch it at night. I saw. Oh my goodness! I need to find it. It's on my phone. It was like a Kermit the Frog. It's a meme, like a split screen. And on one side, it was like a normal Kermit the Frog, and he was like, "Hey, we should go to bed early tonight." And on the other side, it's like, do you remember the Kermit the Frog with like the hood?
Yes.
It's like dark, and it says, "What are you talking about? This is when we drink and watch our shows with bad words." And I was like,
that literally embodies
that's
me.
the dilemma every night.
No, it's not a dilemma. This is reality.
Like go to bed early and feel good in the morning, or
Nope.
grab a drink and watch all the murder shows with the bad words.
Binge watch
Yes.
the trash.
I feel like that's always the correct answer.
100%.
Yeah, so that's kind of who we are, and that's kind of how we landed here. We're best friends. We live in Texas. We're out of hand, and it's a good time. And I hope you guys like us because we think we're really cool.
And we really don't care if you don't like
We
us,
don't.
but then you're dumb, so.
So just out my face. I feel like that's why people don't like us. Because
We don't care.
that's just our mantra.
No, we are who we are. We are not fake. We don't put up any pretenses. Like, there's no church face in this group.
I
Like,
also just can't keep up with like who I'm pleasing, so I just need to like
I just can't.
keep it real.
I can't be bothered to please.
Just keep it real.
No.
It's easier. And it's a lot more fun.
And you're really fun. You don't need to change.
Aw, thanks. You too.
That's
what
the
I was
haters.
saying.
I know.
I know. I concur.
Mm-hmm.
So who is... I don't even know how we're going to pick who's going first. Like, maybe we should draw straws every week, but...
No, you go first.
Okay. I'm doing a story today, and tell me if you've heard it. I've never heard of who put Bella in the Wych Elm.
What?
Have you heard? You haven't heard
No,
this?
what
Okay,
an
it's
intro.
really crazy. Yeah. I'm just gonna... All right, I'm gonna tell you about it. So Who Put Bella in the Wych Elm is what I titled it, because you really can't get more like cryptic than that. Like, oh, okay, what's this about? So on the morning of April 18th in 1943, so it's an old story.
That's my mom's birthday, by the way. Not
1943.
not the same year. Sorry, Mom. Not the same year.
She looks beautiful for her age. Oh,
She's got the Wych Elm.
she's going to die when she hears that. Well, we've made it into half a sentence. Okay, so April 18th, great day in history. In 1943, 4 young boys, Robert Hart, Thomas Willits, Bob Farmer, and Fred Payne from Stourbridge, England. Also, I don't know how you pronounce these words. I think it's Stourbridge, but whatever. So they were poaching or bird nesting. in Hagley Woods near Witchbury Hill. I don't know what bird nesting is. I don't know if you're searching for eggs. I love eggs.
Like poaching? That makes me feel like they're like stealing the eggs. I think of like the rescuers down under from when we were kids.
I didn't know like stealing eggs was a thing. So,
the rescuers down under. Remember the little cartoon guys?
Yeah.
He was a poacher. He stole the eggs from the nest to steal them or to sell them. They were expensive.
But I think these are like normal eggs. Are they like hunting for eggs for their moms? Like they can bake cakes and stuff? I don't know.
Maybe they like side up eggs and bacon.
Scrambled eggs, poached eggs.
Eggs are delicious.
So they're doing this bird nesting. I feel like that's an old term probably. Or from England. Okay, so they're on the hunt for these bird nests. And they come upon this large wych elm. So I looked up a wych elm because I'm not an arborist, and this thing could literally be a dainty crepe myrtle or a giant massive oak in my mind. So I had to Google it. So it turns out they're like these massive trees, and they can reach like 100 feet tall. So I get why it seems like this would be a good place to bird nest. So Bobby Farmer climbs up the tree. Like you need to go Google this tree. It's creepy. It's not a normal wych elm. You need to look up the Bella wych elm. It's real scary. Do that on your phone. Okay.
Right now?
Yeah, look it up. Like it's a creepy tree. So anyways, he looked down in the tree's hollow trunk and he discovered a skull. So the boys thought it was an animal skull at first, and then they saw that there was still brown human hair attached in places on the skull.
Oh.
And it had a very distinct teeth pattern. They were super crooked. Like the two front teeth were really crooked.
Sounds English.
Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby. Yes.
So it was a human skull, not a bird nest.
Oh, yeah, this tree is...
It's a real creepy tree.
Nasty.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't even look like a tree.
It doesn't. It looks like it has, like, little worms.
It's, like, super sinister, right?
Oh,
yeah.
It's awful.
Yes. Like, that's Blair Witch.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
So the boys knew that they were trespassing and poaching and breaking, like, all the laws. So they decided to put the skull back in its hiding place in the wych elm and go home and not tell anyone. By the way, do not ever ask me to keep that secret if we find a skull. Like, I will sing like a canary and tell everybody.
You're literally the worst liar.
I can't.
No.
Like, no.
No.
So, I don't know if they had a blood pact or what they did, but they decided not to tell anybody. So, that didn't last very long. So, upon returning home, the youngest of the boys, Thomas Willett, was like, nope, not keeping this secret, and told his parents about the gruesome discovery, and they, as any good parents would do, called the police. And his mom's like, where the hell are the eggs? I'm sure she wasn't. So the police were like, I was gonna bake a cake.
Oi, where are the eggs?
You found a skull but no damn eggs. So they called the police. The police were dispatched to Hagley Wood, where they discovered in the elm an almost complete skeleton with a shoe, a golden wedding ring, and some fragments of clothing, which turned out to look like it was like a blue striped cardigan, a light blue belt, and a cloth skirt. But oddly, all of the clothes had the tags removed, which eventually means nothing in this story, but it was just really weird.
So it's like a killer with like a self-image issue?
Like
no sizes.
What? No. So she seemed to be missing her right hand, though.
Oh.
And it had been sawed off. So this killer seems like really non-committal to me. Like, I'm going to dismember this body. Starts with one hand, and he's like, no, forget it.
Oh, shit, this is too hard. That bone
I'm
sucks.
going to put her in a tree. So that's all she's missing is this hand. So after they dig a little deeper and are checking the scene, they finally actually discover the remains of the hand, and they were found in the area as well. Which, then I was like, well, I wonder why he cut her hand off. And then I should have Googled it. But, like, I don't know when fingerprints came about. I was like, well, maybe he was going to try to cut her hands off to hide her identity. But I don't know if fingerprints were a thing.
Well, why would you leave the left hand anyway?
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he was really grossed out, cut the hand off, and he was like, nope, I can't do it. So, but then I was like, there's not a database. Like, now they have everybody's prints in a database.
Yeah, CODIS, but CODIS came around, like, I think in the 90s.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if that was his reasoning.
Gross.
And turns
he was
out
just a freak.
There's no good reason. The body was sent to a lab for forensic examination. I don't know what that means in 1943, but Professor James Webster does it. he decided that the victim's age was like 35. She was about 5 feet tall. She had light brown hair. She had given birth to 1 child and, again, had irregular teeth.
I got it, Mama.
No.
What are you doing, Goo Goo?
Good night.
Good night.
Good
I
night.
love you.
We love you. You're the best.
Good night, Bruce.
I love how little boys walk around with their hands in their underwear.
It's such a thing.
Why are you staying for the night?
I'm not. I'm just laying in bed for fun. Can I stay the night?
We're just hanging out for a bit.
Okay.
Can Aunt Britt spend the night?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Glad he didn't come in the part where her hand got cut off. Just kidding, he did.
He would be like, that's not the precise way. Inefficient.
That would be so Sawyer. Okay, she had irregular teeth. She was believed to have been dead for at least 18 months, placing the time of death around October 1941. He also discovered a piece of taffeta in her mouth. So apparently her skirt, she also
So
had
maybe her dress. Yeah.
well, she had an underskirt too. I forgot to put that in there. So she had an underskirt and it was made of taffeta.
Okay.
So a piece of it was found in her mouth, suggesting that she died from suffocation.
It's like he was like gagging her.
Yes, pretty much.
Gross.
Yeah, he's classy. From the measurement of the trunk in which her body was discovered, the doctors concluded that she had been strangled and stuffed in the wych elm while, in quotation marks, she was still warm because her body could not have fit once rigor mortis had set in.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yep. Investigators used all of the postmortem information to try to identify her. Again, 1940s, not the same as today. So they cross-referenced the description with missing persons reports from the region, and none matched her skeleton. Because her teeth were so distinctive, they also contacted dentists all over the country to see if they had any patients that had the same teeth. None of those searches turned up anything either. So pretty much they're at a dead end. 6 months later, with the police not any closer to identifying the victim or her killer, the appearance of graffiti started showing up in the region. The first message was written in really big, blocky letters in white chalk, and it said, "Who put Lou Bella down the wych elm?"
Oh.
In the following weeks, the graffiti changed into Hagley Woods Bella. And then finally, "Who put Bella down the wych elm?" So, and I guess I should state, because I'm looking at it, witch is spelled W-Y-C-H. So that will make more sense later.
Okay, so not witch, like hocus pocus.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's W-I-C-H. But later on, there were people who would start putting graffiti up, like more in our time, who would spell it W-I-T-C-H. But in the time the murder was occurring, it was W-I-C-H, as the elm should be spelled. So, and that graffiti has remained for over 6 decades. So, Who Put Bella Down the Wych Elm suggested that someone knew more than they were letting on. Because they put her name, they knew about the elm. So the police searched for the vandal or vandals because the graffiti implied that they knew the identity of the woman and maybe knew what happened during her homicide. But they, in the end, failed to discover who they were. The graffiti basically gave a name to the unidentified body, and she was referred to as Bella from that point on. So, with no leads and no missing persons, no dental records matching, the woman in the wych elm apparently came from nowhere and was missed by no one. I hate to tell you this, but this is unsolved.
What?
Yeah.
Who is Bella?
I didn't want to tell you in the beginning.
No, that is so disappointing.
I know.
Wait, but just to pause, like,
Yeah.
taffeta. I know, like, in America, taffeta was kind of like a fine material. Wasn't it, like, kind of expensive?
Like I said, you're a lot more classy than I am, so I don't know.
I'm thinking, like, Gone with the Wind. I feel like taffeta was
Maybe.
like, a thing to have under your
Maybe it
dress.
was.
Like, if Homegirl's teeth were so gnarled, why did she
Yeah.
have taffeta?
Could be. Yeah, and I don't know what kind of, like, cloth skirt. Like, was it a long fancy skirt, or was it, like, a short casual skirt? So maybe
well,
she was fancy.
I mean, taffeta means it was like a full skirt.
I would think, unless were slips back then made of taffeta? I feel like I don't know enough about slips. I don't think I even own a slip.
No, you don't own a slip.
I don't own a
It's
slip.
2020. There's no slip.
But I feel like some of my dresses are kind of see-through, but I just wear nude underwear.
You just let it show.
I Maybe I should get some taffeta.
Back to your story.
Okay, so theory 1. 2 years after Bella's body was discovered, Margaret Murray, a folklorist, she eats a lot, a folklorist, anthropologist, and archaeologist from the University of London, posed one of the more really interesting theories about the case. Also, who is this girl? Like, what does my resume look like? Like,
What else does she do?
I'm like, photographer. I like yoga.
I birthed a lot of kids.
I can't even think of 3 professions to throw on a list. So this chick, Margaret, she said that she thought Bella had been executed during an occult ceremony.
Ooh.
And that her hand was removed and used as a, again, quote, hand of glory. So a hand of glory was a dismembered hand used by burglars as a candle that was carried into homes they wished to steal from in order to make the inhabitants sleep deeply.
Ew.
I know. But the problem with that theory was that the hand of glory, I guess traditionally, I don't know, maybe we'll have some witches listen to this and they can clarify. This is just what I found on the internet. Was that the hand of glory had to be cut from the body of a felon who had just been hung at the gallows. Clearly not Bella. Also, it seemed that Murray had a tendency to kind of see witches everywhere, like in lots of stories. So she was just like super into those stories.
Got it.
So the theory about the occult, it grew like pretty popular, but because all of this stuff was happening during the war, the Luster War Act and the case was basically forgotten for years. Like this was all during the war. Like it was just crazy times. So stuff was going on besides Bella and the Wych Elm. So she kind of got pushed to the back burner. So theory 2 was that she's a spy. So in 1953, Byford Jones had written about the case in his news journal, and so it picked back up after almost a decade of disinterest. A reader referring to herself as Anna wrote a letter to the journal, and she claimed that Bella was part of a World War II era spying ring. Anna wrote that this spy ring was made up of a Dutchman, a foreign trapeze artist, and a British Army officer. And I feel like that's just like the beginning of a bad joke. Like,
so specific.
It's like, okay, so a Dutchman, a trapeze artist, and an Army officer walk into a bar. Every time I read that, I was like, this sounds ridiculous. But she does end the letter saying this. Finish your articles on the Wych Elm crime by all means. They are interesting to your readers, but you will never solve the mystery. The affair is closed and involves no witches, black magic, or moonlight rites. The person responsible for the crime died insane in 1942, and the victim was Dutch and arrived illegally in England about 1941. I have no wish to recall any more. Creeper.
Ooh.
So after lots of appeals, and Byford Jones gave this to the police, they contacted Anna many times. She eventually met with them and decided to tell her full story as she recalled it. She first confessed that her actual name was Una Hainsworth. She spoke...
Oh, Una.
Una. Like, come on, Una. Aunt Una from Altoona. Do you remember that? From Family Matters? Steve Urkel's aunts. I didn't even think about that until now. Aunt Una.
Una.
So she told about a group of pro-German conspirators passing on intelligence about munitions and aircraft factories in the West Midlands. One of them was Una's husband, Jack. So he came into some money after meeting a man that went by the Dutchman.
Oh.
Also,
here we go.
I feel like as my friend, you need to like be Clutch City and just give me a really cool nickname, like the Dutchman.
I'm gonna work on it.
Okay, thank you. It's a cool name. It reminds me of like Turkish off of, oh shoot, what was that movie? Oh my gosh.
What?
What is that movie? It's one of my favorite movies. I'm on the freaking spot. Gorgeous George, Turkish.
Stop. It's Brad Pitt and Snatch.
Snatch, yes! Like, those are cool nicknames, like the Dutchman. Okay, so work on that. So Jack, then revealed to her that he had begun working for a Nazi spy agent, passing on information. Jack was passing on information on local industrial sites to someone, and then that someone passed the information on to another agent. This agent, who Jack did not know, was working as a cabaret performer at the local theater.
Oh.
Yes, she fancy.
Ooh la la.
So Jack told Una that he met the Dutchman one night near a pub, or at a pub near Hagley Wood, where that man, the Dutchman, was seen arguing with a Dutch woman. Now remember, he does not know who the other spy was. He just knows he's passing on information.
Right.
So obviously they're concluding that the Dutch woman is Bella.
Yep.
So the Dutchman was seen arguing with a Dutch woman where it was getting really out of hand, and he ordered Jack to drive them and the trapeze artist to a particular location. And sometime along that drive, the Dutchman became violent and strangled the woman. Una said that Jack, fearing for his life, helped carry the woman into the woods nearby and dumped her body in the tree. Jack was haunted and traumatized by what had happened, and he eventually had a nervous breakdown. And he was institutionalized in 1941, and he died a year later. That's theory number 2. Yeah.
Pretty strong.
Which sounds pretty relevant, right?
Yeah.
It's a good story. Okay, number 3. So bad news. Okay, number 3. After the investigation was officially closed in 2009, which is insane, that case stayed open that long.
What?
They did not officially close it until 2009. It's like
Hudson
yesterday.
was born
Yes,
in 2009.
yesterday. Yes. Like, that was, I don't know why it was open. They weren't investigating it.
That's so
Maybe it just
sad.
got forgotten.
Unimportant.
So they
to
closed
them.
it. Yeah. In 2009, and it was discovered that Bella's bones had actually disappeared. After Dr. Webster, before the forensic guy, examined the bones in 1943, he sent the remains to a friend at the University of Birmingham Medical School for some unofficial tests. But there are no records about what happened to the remains after that. This caused some people to speculate that it was proof of a cover-up at the highest levels of the government. Again, it kind of goes back to spy stuff.
It does.
Yeah.
Why would they care?
I know. So, well, if it was against their government, what she found out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So either way, the most crucial part of evidence, 2009, they could have done so much with her body at that
Yeah.
point. Her bones had been lost. Also, her official autopsy report describing her, like, physicality, the official report, also gone, missing. So they don't even have that anymore. So even if they basically found out who they think it might be, there's no official autopsy report to confirm.
How is this possible?
I know. Shade. So, and then theory number 4 was that she was actually a cabaret singer and a German actress turned spy. So the spy ring theory gained more weight when the published wartime files detailed the interrogation of Gestapo agent Joseph Jacobs after he parachuted into Cambridgeshire in January of 1941. At the time of his capture, he was found to have been carrying a photograph. He said it was of his, I quote, lover, which is funny because that's what I call my husband. That's what I call Dallas. He's my lover.
Kenneth calls me that.
It's
weird.
a good name.
It's weird.
Also, T Swift loves. There's a photograph of his lover, I guess, in his pocket. And he says that she is the German cabaret singer and movie star Clara Barrel. There are different ways of pronouncing her last name. We're going with it. So he says they met in a cafe in Hamburg where she was singing. He claimed that Clara was then recruited by senior Nazis because she had spent a few years in the West Midlands and she could speak English with a Birmingham accent and she would make for the perfect spy. And Jacob said that Clara had been due to parachute into the Midlands in the spring of 1941. I did some side googling and it turns out that the West Midlands where she had sang before and where she was due to parachute back to is only actually 30 minutes from the Wych Elm where Bella was found. But the thing is Jacobs was caught before she ever parachuted in. So they never spoke again. She probably thought she was being totally ghosted by this guy. So we don't know if she ever actually parachuted into the West Midlands. And then Jacobs was shot by a firing squad.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
dang
unfortunate. He was the last guy in history to be executed at the Tower of London. So fun fact about Jacobs. Well, Clara Barrel is a plausible candidate for who Bella was because Clara was born in Stuttgart in 1906. So she would have been 35 if she died in 1941. And Clara also appeared to have disappeared without a trace in 1941. No more movies were made, no more photogram or gramophone records, and there's no evidence that she made any further stage appearances. And she was a cabaret singer. So after 1941, no more. Bummer City. Upon just like reading up on this, a follow-up was made a few years ago about this theory, and it was put to rest when Giselle Jacobs recently had published a blog and stated that she finally traced a copy of Clara Barrel's death registration. So originally they decided Clara Barrel by English men could have turned into Clarabella instead of Clara Barrel.
Ooh.
So that's why they were like, oh, she could have gone by Bella. But it turns out that this Giselle Jacobs had found that Clara died on December 16th, 1942 from veronal poisoning.
Oh.
I should have looked that up. I love a good poisoning, but I don't know what that is.
Veronal?
It's not cyanide, but yeah, I don't know what that is. But she died in Berlin, and so she could not have been the woman found in Hagley Woods. But it was a good theory and a good story.
It was.
The actual murder, meanwhile, may never be solved. Since the gruesome discovery coincided with wartime, resources were strained, the police were overwhelmed with missing persons reports, and the files have since been lost. So all that remains of the mysterious graffiti asking its haunting question is, who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
But someone knows. They wrote it.
They're probably dead. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time.
That is...
Not as old as my mom. Sorry, Mom.
Your mom is a skeleton. So this is a picture of Clara Barrel that was found in Joseph Jacobs' pocket.
Okay.
And this is a... You know, like when they can take a skull and form it? And so that's what they think she actually looked like. Again, that was so long ago that...
She kind of looks like a caveman with
I
hair.
know, she kind of is Neanderthalish looking. She does not look like Clara Barrel. Clara Barrel. That's a hard name.
I feel like her hair was really severe, but if it wasn't, she'd actually be kind of pretty.
Yeah. Also, Bella was said to be 5 feet, and I think Clara actually was taller than 5 feet. She was
way taller.
Yeah, she was known as a taller woman, which also they confirmed it wasn't her. But the spy stories sound like they could be relevant. I don't know. We'll never know.
So sad. Maybe we will. Unsolved Mysteries, where are you?
Get on this. Episode
on
7.
There. Come on.
Do it. So, that's the story of Bella.
Horrifying.
I know it's sadly disappointing that there's no ending.
Horrifying. Don't put people in trees, please.
Tell me, is your story more horrifying?
It really is, because there's no mystery.
So we know it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so my story is about a man named John List.
And if you haven't heard of John List...
I really hadn't.
So I know a little bit, but I don't know the full John List story.
Girl, I'm going to blow you away with this story.
Is it going to give me nightmares?
100%.
Okay, super. Okay, more wine. Here we go.
Pour it up, girl.
Yep. Glug, glug, glug.
So, John List, he was born to a really conservative family. His dad was super active in the Lutheran church. Mom was a German immigrant. Like, just very subservient to dad. Wealthy. Like, not a whole lot more is said about, like, his upbringing.
Yeah.
Just loved by his mom. Dad was rigid. Dad had, his standards.
Are daddy issues relevant with guys too?
Hell yes.
Okay, so
Dads,
we're
do
daddy.
your part.
Yeah, we're daddy issuing. Okay, from the get-go. Got it.
Absolutely. So, right out of school, enlists with the Army. He served during World War II and the Korean War. Okay. In
More drama.
infantry.
Okay.
Homie saw some shit.
Yeah. Okay.
So he gets stationed in Virginia. He meets a woman named Helen. Helen is recently widowed. Her husband died in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
No, Korean War. My bad. Let me stick to the notes.
Notes are hard.
I'm like getting carried away here.
We're like in our 30s. When was the last time we took notes?
So they get married in 1951. Immediately, she says she's pregnant right when they get married. Either miscarriages or actually wasn't pregnant and just said it. There's speculation from his family on the two.
Wait, so what are the options? They don't have the baby.
No, they don't have the baby. So either she actually
Was lying.
pregnant and lost the baby, or
Okay.
she just said that to pressure him to marry her and like
Oh, I feel
stick
like I
with
knew
it.
a lot of those girls.
She also had a daughter named Brenda
Okay.
before from her first marriage,
Mhm.
but Brenda's not really in this story. She's kind of just like a...
Okay.
She moved away, got married.
Got it. Okay.
So, they get married in 1951. They immediately have 3 kids within 4 years.
What? She's like making use of the womb. Okay, got it.
Holy moly. So, John is like, wow, how are we going to feed
Like,
this family?
Fertile Myrtle. All right.
So, he jumps around.
Speaking of Fertile Myrtle.
What? Okay. Night-night. Can you close my door, please? Don't come back out.
I'm still on. We want.
Okay, we're working.
We're gonna make
We're very official working.
We're gonna make good ones.
You are such good boys.
We're allowed to drink on the job. Don't worry about it.
I love you. They're supposed to be in bed. Doesn't count. It's like 9:30. Okay, go to bed. I'm off duty. So John is trying to figure out how he can support this big family. He, has an accounting degree. He's job hopping, all this stuff, like building up the career ladder. Ends up getting a vice president position at a bank in New Jersey. Okay?
Cush.
So, hell yeah. So he relocates from New York to New Jersey. Well, they're feeling themselves. Like, money's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
They decide they need to move into this 19-bedroom mansion.
They have 4 kids, not...
Wait, maybe 19 rooms, actually.
But I feel like when
That's still a lot.
you're on like when it says like, it says 3 bedroom. I don't know. That's a big house. What house has 19 rooms?
Yeah, it says 19 room, so whatever. 19
Too
room.
many rooms, and Helen's got to clean it. Okay.
So this mansion is so big that it has its own name. It's Breeze Knoll. Like,
Ooh.
if your house is named, like, we made it.
I'm gonna
Like,
name my house.
We bougie.
I feel like I'm gonna name my house, and then people are gonna be real disappointed when they come to it.
This is shit house. Welcome.
Low expectations. Okay, so
Bring your own food.
Also, but bring me wine.
So they move into this 19-room Victorian mansion. It's in a super affluent suburb of New Jersey called Westfield. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, John can't afford this house.
Imagine that.
So he hits up his mama, Alma, and says, hey, if you can loan us money to get into this house, like, down payment, like help us get in, you can live on the 3rd floor in your own apartment of this house. She's a widow. She's like, absolutely.
There's an apartment in their house.
It's 19 rooms. Of course.
It's not like mother-in-law quarters. It's like, here's an apartment, girl.
Here's your own little casita, mama.
Sheesh. Okay.
Okay.
So mom to the rescue.
So Mama Alma moves in on the 3rd floor. So for 6 years, they're trucking along, and this is what's happening. So 6 years later, everything falls apart. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Helen actually contracted syphilis from her first husband, the guy that died in the Korean War.
She found out this how long after?
Oh, no, this was a secret.
Oh, okay. I was
She
gonna say, I don't think that's how that works.
She never told John about this until it actually started affecting her brain.
Oh, I forgot that it did that. I remember like the syphilis studies.
Yes.
Okay.
So
yes.
she had atrophy. She had blackouts. She actually started losing sight in her right eye, all because of syphilis. She pretty much was like a recluse, stayed in her bedroom, didn't want to come out.
Who's
like-
taking care of these kids?
Well, not to mention, Mama Helen picked up a pretty good habit with the old drink.
Okay.
With scotch,
Okay.
barbiturates,
Sipping on that scissor.
and tranquilizers.
Wow.
Like, she liked a good little cocktail. So she was hospitalized all the time.
She's blind and high. Got it. Okay.
I mean, if you're losing your eyesight, like, please give me a drink.
I don't blame her, but I feel like she took it to an excessive level.
Right.
Like, sometimes I have extra wine, but not a tranquilizer.
But also, you don't get mean. So Helen was known to get super drunk and then just berate her husband in public.
Okay.
She would
Classy one.
shred him. He was super involved in the Lutheran church. He led a Sunday school. You know, was super active in all these different events.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel like the story is taking like a weird turn. Like right now, I'm like, poor John List. And I feel like it's totally going to turn.
I actually struggled with that multiple times. Like, you'll find out more as the story goes on. But, like, there are things where you're like, ooh, like, this was not good.
Yeah, like right now I'm sitting at, Helen, you suck. John, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm going to regret saying that, but keep going. Okay, I'm ready.
But, like, no matter what, please don't kill your family.
Well, what? Okay.
Sorry, did I ruin the ending?
Okay, so here we go.
Okay, so Helen's, like, off and on, hospitalized, hanging out in her room a lot, like, losing eyesight. She's just a hot mess. Well, they have 3 kids. So, Patricia is 16, okay? And she is a typical 16-year-old. Like,
been there.
She is just so in her oats. So Patricia gets into acting. Dad is, you know, super Lutheran. He's horrified, feels like that's taking her away from the church. It's going to lead her to bad things. Mm-hmm. Patricia is also dabbling in witchcraft. There are some people who say that she had actually built a secret altar. She is very close with her acting coach, who was a lot older than her.
So basically doing completely everything the opposite of what her dad expects.
The tighter the leash.
It's true. Okay. Lutheran witchcraft. I feel like we're going like east and west here. Okay.
So, a few months before everything really pops off, Helen says she can no longer attend church. She says partly because of health reasons, partly because she's just angry and bitter, like she's not in the place.
Oh, okay. So she's like being real.
Yes.
Okay.
But this is like John's whole life.
Sure.
Like, he's devoted. Patricia is super into, you know, whatever she's doing, possibly smoking pot, according to sources, maybe into witchcraft. She doesn't want to go to church anymore. Mm-hmm. John's horrified. He feels like he's lost his family. Mm-hmm. Add to that the worst possible recipe. John loses his high-paying job.
Oh. Mama Alma?
No, Mama Alma is fine.
I know. Is she not paying all the bills?
Mama Alma is slowly losing her money.
Okay. This is not going well.
This is bad.
Okay. All right.
So John loses his job, but he doesn't tell anybody. Does not tell Helen. Does not tell his mom. Tells no one. He gets stressed every morning. He has breakfast with his kids. And he goes and hangs out at the train station all day long.
8 to 5.
8 to 5. Comes home when he should normally come home. Okay.
How do you fake that? I'm such a bad liar. Oh my gosh.
He cannot deal with admitting that he has lost this job and that they can't pay their bills. So he starts kind of stealing money from his mom's bank account, trying to make ends meet. Like, everything's kind of coming to a head. She doesn't have enough money to keep paying the bills. Takes a second mortgage on the house. But that, like, their house is so expensive. All of these expenses, like, that drains away. So, of course, they get a foreclosure notice on the house.
No bueno.
No. He's in a panic. So, this is according to John. Mm-hmm. He felt like there were only 2 options left.
Oh, well, I feel like there's more options, but okay, let's hear them.
So he decides, well, we could go on welfare. We can disgrace
It's
our family.
that bad. Oh, okay. Like,
He's stealing money from his mom's bank account. Like, he's pretending to work at the train stations every day. Like, he has no money.
so Helen, like, wakes up one day and she's like, what is this? Foreclosure notice. Like, can you imagine?
No.
Like, so one time in high school, no, I was in college. I had a boyfriend who lied to me about taking college classes, and like, I was mortified at just like he wasn't learning math. So I can't imagine that.
So
Your
Kenneth
husband does this.
Kenneth got a full scholarship for basketball to Concordia, which was also a Lutheran university.
Oh, John Liss.
By the way. And Kenneth would just go to parties and hang out. And it lasted one semester. And then his parents were like, you're failing every single thing. You need to come home. We're not paying for this.
I'm not going to those classes. So that's why I have a 0 average.
My bad.
All right, John List.
So sorry.
I see you, John. Tell us more. Oh, hey, Kenneth. He's going to come in here and be like, what?
I mean, either
are
he's
you
home
doing?
or like there's an actual serial killer inside the house.
Or
that
your kids
knows-
have left the house.
but they know my alarm code and they can reach.
Hi.
Hi.
I didn't call because I was worried that you were going to be filming.
We are filming.
Here we
Are you
are.
actually filming right
We
now?
are.
Oh, cool.
Welcome, husband number 1.
Hello.
Mine's not going to come in. He's at home with my kids. Leslie's telling me about her psycho John List. I heard you already heard this story.
Some of it. Kenneth actually had really good insight into it too.
He's
Creepy
this-
stuff.
I know. Okay, I don't even think we're in the bad part. And I'm like,
No, we're not. We're leading up
Okay.
to.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can help me. You can fill in wherever we are.
Okay.
Get a wine glass.
Gotcha. I'm in.
Get a wine glass. Hurry.
you're cramming red wine. Get the red wine.
Have the red wine.
Look, that's break. Rule number 1: must have wine in hand.
Rule number 2: there is no red wine.
Oh, wait.
Rule number 3:
you must not speak.
there is no red wine. Right?
What?
What?
There's so much red wine. Take me to the wine cellar.
Next home improvement.
Oh, I don't know if the city's going to allow that.
I'll just dig it like from the dining room floor.
I can't wait to see this happen.
No one will ever know.
I'm going to come over. There's just going to be dirt piled up in the corner, and there's going to be like a hole.
I have watched so much murder mystery. I definitely can build some kind of secret room in the
but
floor.
will it look like the wine cellar in The Servant?
No.
That wine cellar.
Nothing in my house will ever
That
look
was-
like the house in the servant because that's incredible. That kitchen.
I know. And remember whenever he sent her and he was like, there's wine airing out. Like, what? I opened this bottle and poured it directly into the glass.
No hesitation.
No.
Like a savage.
Do you need air wine? I don't care. I'm just going to drink you.
You just need my mouth.
Yes. So yeah, maybe one day. When it happens, I'll be here for it.
But we'll buy like expensive wine.
Will we?
Probably not.
No, we have too many kids.
Oh.
So tell me about John List.
Okay. So he felt like there were only 2 options. I think that's where we left off. So like welfare, he was gonna like disgrace his whole family. Everybody's gonna be embarrassed. They were gonna struggle forever. Or, according to the Lutheran faith, according to him,
Okay.
in his confession letter,
Important.
Lutherans, I am not coming for you. I'm not saying this is what you believe, but this man said he could save his family's souls and guarantee them going to heaven if he killed them. If he could get them to like be in a good place and then kill them, they'd be fine.
I could almost see where he could reconcile that in his head as a crazy person.
So
Because they're like none the wiser. They're
None
just victims, right?
listen.
Okay.
Don't jump the
Oh,
gun.
okay.
Don't jump the gun. Don't know.
Also, I'm not Lutheran.
We went to a Lutheran church for a while. It was actually really fantastic.
I mean, I believe it. I just have I have no idea what that entails.
It's like a baby Catholic.
Okay.
It's real close.
Kenneth has a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Not wine.
It's the next best thing.
You have to come sit right here because your mouth has to be here.
You failed.
gotcha.
If
He actually has good input on this case.
I would just rather listen.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm way too shy.
Okay, so we'll cut you out.
To be famous.
All
You're
right.
not
Oh
shy
my
at all.
god. Bullshit. Okay.
Okay, so here we go. It's gonna get creepy now.
So is he taking one of the two choices?
Oh, he's.
Did he pick number 1? Is it welfare? End of story?
It's not.
No? Okay.
Oh, it's not. If only. So, November 5th. This is Friday. Okay.
What year is this?
1971.
Okay.
So, John calls all the kids into the kitchen.
I don't want to hear anymore. I'm leaving.
And he tells all of them, these 3 children, teenagers, I know you're all gonna die soon. So, prepare your souls. Settle all of your affairs. Get ready. Also, would you prefer to be buried or cremated? I'm not
I'm not laughing at that, but like, who the hell?
I'm not even
is-
kidding. To his children.
Honestly, he's probably like, listen, cremation is a lot cheaper, so like, let's go that route.
Is that cool with you?
We're out of
or-
money. We don't have money anymore.
You're cool with that, right? Yeah. So, John Jr. and Patricia are like, the hell? Like, the fuck did he just say?
I feel like that would be my question.
So, Patricia goes to school on Monday and tells her acting coach, and his name is Ed Elano.
The guy she's close with?
Very close to
Okay.
me, but, you know, Ed, I'm not calling you out. Like,
But also, I might be calling you out.
it's kind of weird, but, like, good on you for loving your students a lot. So, she goes and tells her acting coach, and he's like, well, that's really weird. And he writes it off. Like, she's being a dramatic teenager. She has a history, like I said, with the witchcraft and the smoking pot. Like, she's not exactly
But I feel like I know some witches, and they're not like.
Oh, I know.
I feel like 1971. It was probably not as common. Okay, so I will give him I'll give him a pass.
I know quite a few people who would identify as witches.
But probably
and
not
they're really cool.
not 1971.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably a little different back then.
Yeah, those witches sucked.
Yeah, the worst.
Stevie Nicks, the White Witch.
But
Bite your tongues.
no one shall talk bad about the Stevie Nicks.
Bite your tongues, both of you.
Oh my gosh, you so sounded hocus pocus.
Just a little hocus pocus.
That was really impressive. Okay, so Halloween costumes decided. Okay, proceed.
So he kind of like ignores everything that Patty has just told him. Oh yeah, that's what they call her, Patty.
Got it, Patty.
16-year-old Patty. So he's like, you being cray. Like, you got them hormones and
I remember that.
like everybody hates their dad at that age. Everybody's dad's gonna kill them. Whoa. Not to make light of the situation. Because it's gonna get bad.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna get bad. But I understand where he was coming
Yes,
from.
sure.
So we're gonna fast forward to Wednesday. This was Friday, now we're at Wednesday, November 9th, 1971.
All right.
So John gets up, he has breakfast with his 3 kids. Just like normal, they leave and they go to school. They're gone. So Helen comes down.
This is the day. Damn it. Okay.
She's making her coffee. John comes in behind her. They're like having a little chitty chat. And John puts a gun to the back of their head and kills her.
The kids are gone.
The kids are at school.
Okay.
So John then puts Helen's body in a sleeping bag and drags her into the ballroom. This 19-room mansion, of course,
Of course it has a ballroom.
has a ballroom. So Helen, in her sleeping bag, goes to the ballroom.
Okay. Oh.
So after this, John's, his adrenaline is going. Like, this just happened. Goes upstairs to Mama. Alma is in her room. She's making breakfast, just hanging out. And she's like, hey, what was that noise? I heard a lot of noise downstairs.
Fireworks.
Yeah, John's like, chair, just
Deflect.
mansplains, like, things happen, I'm clumsy, my bad. Gives her a kiss and shoots her in the right temple.
What?
In her little apartment, his 84-year-old mom.
But he thinks he's like saving them. Like, this is so jacked.
This mom who moved in with them so they could afford this house helped them buy it.
Yeah, who's been so good to him his whole life.
He's an only child. His mother has been devoted to him.
Yeah.
Nope. No mercy for Mama. So he shoots Alma, throws a towel over her face. She's too heavy to carry downstairs, he says, later in his letters.
Throws a towel.
So towel over her face and just walks on out. Nope, that's it. Closes the door.
Wow.
So then, he's finished this first part, goes back to the kitchen, cleans up Helen's blood from everything, writes letters to the kids' schools explaining that they are going to go to North Carolina to take care of Helen's sick mother.
This is so French episode Unsolved Mysteries.
I told you. It's actually worse.
It's like...
It's so...
Okay, so I wouldn't doubt if that guy got the idea.
Or
He probably saw a John List story and was
What
like,
were
I'm
these
going to
years?
copycat that.
Is it the same guy?
No, but seriously, like it's the same. That's creepy.
It's going to get worse.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Well, that's what we're here for.
So he writes the school, says that the kids, they're all going to North Carolina. They're gone from the school. They're going to go take care of Helen's mother. So then he goes to the post office. He mails off these letters. He cancels their mail delivery and their milk deliveries.
Ready.
Yeah. And then he goes to the bank and he withdraws the last of Alma's money. So he's already been, taking Alma's money. That's the end. It's all gone.
Okay. She's broke.
That's it. So,
And what's left?
So money's zero. So money's all gone. He takes out the last $2,000. Then he goes back to the house and he makes himself a sandwich.
So what's his game plan with $2,000? That's like pennies.
I mean, it's 1971. Like, how?
Ooh, good point.
I don't really know actually how that translates to now, but I think that's a pretty good amount of money to move.
I didn't think about that. Okay, got it.
So he's back at the house, makes himself a sandwich in the kitchen where he just killed Helen.
He has lunch?
He has lunch there.
Like, is the kitchen still a freaking bloody mess and he makes lunch?
He's gross.
Okay. All right, so John List, certified psychopath, kills wife, has lunch. Okay.
Patricia calls home, says she's not feeling well. Mm-hmm. She needs to come home. Mm-hmm. So John goes and he picks her up from school, gets her home. They walk in the door. And there's conflicting theories. Like, ballistics cannot tell because of age projection. Nope.
Red wine?
Not progesterone. Because of body decomposition, they can't tell from ballistics like where he actually shot her. So there are reports that he shot her through the jaw. He claims that he shot every member of his immediate family besides his mom in the back of the head.
So he wanted it to be in the back of the head, but
Yes.
she turned, like something startled her?
I mean, maybe. He says he shot her in the back of the head. Like, that was in his, letter, but
Okay.
that's not what ballistics shows. But
Yeah.
also her body, we don't know.
Okay.
Either way, they get home from school and he kills her. He puts her in a sleeping bag and drags her into the ballroom next to Helen. So next up is Frederick. He's 13 years old. Gets home from school just like normal, just like every other day. John's waiting. John shoots him in the back of the head. Puts him in the sleeping bag. Drags him into the ballroom.
What the hell?
Same as the others. Like, no remorse. Then, just to make things more sick, John Jr. has a soccer game. So John drives to the school, watches John Jr.'s soccer game,
What the fuck?
picks him up, and takes him home after the game just to try to shoot him.
Okay, this guy's like, celebration ice cream, and then let's go home.
And then let's die.
What the hell?
Goodbye for you. So he shoots him in the back of the head. Unfortunately, unlike the others, it doesn't kill him.
Oh my gosh.
They struggle. They fight. John Jr. tries to fight him. He gets shot 10 times total.
10?
With 2 different guns.
Okay, was like this prepared? Like 2 guns like ready to go? Or did like he shoot him with one, ran out of bullets, went and got the next gun? How gruesome is this?
Disgusting. So he shoots him with 2 different guns, then puts him in the sleeping bag, drags him into the ballroom, leaves him next to the rest of the family.
Yeah, at this point, it's like routine work.
And then makes himself some dinner in the kitchen where he
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no. Makes himself some dinner, eats dinner in the kitchen, and then does his dishes and goes to bed upstairs.
Okay, official psychopath. Like, this makes 0 sense.
Wakes up in the morning.
No, wait. He slept
Eats
there.
breakfast in the kitchen. Does his dishes. Then he puts on his favorite music, like goes to the radio. This is 1971. Like it's not Alexa is not putting on your station.
No Spotify station.
Goes to the little, wall unit radio, puts on his favorite station up super loud, puts every light on in the mansion, and then turns the AC down to 50 degrees.
Oh, okay. So Homeboy was thinking, okay, this is getting insane.
This was a plan.
Yes.
This was not spur of the moment.
Like, this was a long process of thought.
At 50 degrees, he knows that those bodies will not decompose at the normal rate. So nobody's going to discover them for a while. Mm-hmm. Sits down at the kitchen table, writes out a 5-page confession letter to his pastor.
Oh, okay.
In which he details all of the killings, but he also makes a big point of saying that he killed them to save their souls because they were leaving the church, and killing them now would save them. Yeah. So he leaves the letter on the table, and then this creepy fool goes throughout the house and cuts out every single picture of himself.
Oh, no trace left behind.
So when the police go into the house, they literally have no picture. They cannot show the public any kind of picture to identify him. Their APB, no picture.
So, like, how long between this happening and the police getting there? Like, what was...
Well, you're jumping the gun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so interested. Okay.
Calm down.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, red wine. Okay.
Whoa. So, turns the AC down, music up, like everything is set, ready to go. So he disappears. He hops a train. He goes to a bunch of cities, ends up in Denver. Well, 1 month later, December 7th, the police, at the urging of Patty's acting coach, the infamous Ed. Good old Ed.
Oh, clutch Ed.
Ed's like, this is not right. Why haven't we heard from Patty? He tells them, like, let's find a way to get into this house. They cannot get in. No answers to the door. They've checked a couple times. Light bulbs are dying. But the doors are locked. They have no probable cause to enter. Mm-hmm. Ed's like, no, something's not right. We need to get into this house. They find an unlocked window in the basement. They creep inside. Go upstairs. Sure enough, in the ballroom, there's the bodies. Then they find the confession letter. Then they find out in the PS.
Wait, there's a PS?
Oh,
like that's like a 5th grade thing. Like there's a PS in the letter.
So in
Post love John List postscript.
In the PS, he mentioned, oh yeah, after I killed Mom, her body was too heavy for me to drag it down.
And she's like, you're such a dick.
So I threw a towel over her face, and she's
like,
she's on the 3rd floor, guys.
Had to leave her there. Couldn't bring her down with the rest of the fam in the ballroom.
Just find her whenever you're ready. Like, she's heavy. Like, what?
John List is a real winner, everybody.
He's a charmer. So they find the bodies. They release it to the public. No photos to be seen. They have no idea where to go from there. Case grows cold.
Yeah, because, like, photos were not super common back then. So unless you had family photos, it's not like your neighbors had random photos of you to give the police.
Right, and he made sure to take out every single photo of the house. Like, he was nowhere in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Creeper. So John hitches a train. He, like, kind of bounces around. He like, works in a kitchen for a while. He, like, kind of bounces around everywhere. Ends up moving to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So in Denver, he gets an accounting job as Bob Clark.
Bob.
Bob.
It's a good name.
Good old Bob.
If you're going to go classic and plain, go with Bob.
I've known a Bob. He was okay. Kind of a jerk at the end, but, you know.
Oh, Bob.
It's okay, Bob. So he works there from 79 to 86. He joins a Lutheran church in Denver. He's super involved, like, does all of the community things. While there, he meets a woman named Dolores Miller. They end up getting married in 85. So here comes 1989. They've moved to Virginia. They're, like, established. They're happy there.
So him and Dolores are, like, kicking it.
Yeah, 4 years.
It's just a good normal life.
4 years. And America's Most Wanted covers the case of the List family.
You gotta love America's Most Wanted.
And so they show an age-progressed clay bust of what List might look like.
What is a clay bust?
Well, so it's made of clay. So it's like a...
What? Wait. The model?
Yeah, so it's like a ceramic, like, you know, like those statues of, like, the old, like, Nero and, like, all
Why
those
are
old,
they
like...
called a bust? This is confusing.
Are you thinking of boobs?
Yes!
So it's kind of like...
Clay boobs is what I heard when you said clay bust.
It's, like, right above the nipple up to the face.
Okay.
It's like, you know, those little statues that are, like...
Okay.
Okay, like...
So it's like a sketch, but better because it's clay.
But it's like a statue.
Okay.
It's like a 3-dimensional, you know, made out of clay.
So these are just, it's based on descriptions of people that know him.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, because there's no pictures.
There's no pictures. He took all of the pictures away.
Okay.
So this is just from eyewitnesses who knew him. And they've, like, collaborated with this artist. They've made a bust.
Okay.
Not boobs.
Now I know what busts are.
So, in Denver, they lived next to this woman named Wanda Flannery. Wanda's kind of a nosy Nelly.
Doesn't Wanda Flannery sound...
She sounds like a Helen.
Very neighbory.
Oh,
like
she's
the
all
OG
up,
Karen.
all up in your business. Like,
We should, like, petition for Karens to start being called Helens.
Wanda's.
Oh, Wanda, damn it. Helen's the wife. Wanda is the OG Karen, so we petition for Karens to now be Wandas.
I feel like Wanda, like, it definitely carries, like,
It really does.
It's like like, bitch, I'm Wanda.
Damn Wanda.
Bring your trash can up. Like, don't you leave your shit. So Wanda is in the supermarket and walking around. She goes to check out and she sees the tabloid. Tabloid is covering the List case. And it has a sketch of John List on the cover. And she's like, no. That looks like good old Bob. Like, Bob looks just like this. Shows this to Dolores.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dolores is very soft-spoken, and she doesn't like to make waves. And Dolores is like, no.
Oh, damn it, Dolores.
No. Can't be.
But it is.
Bab wouldn't do that.
Like, girl, you've been married 4 years.
So Dolores does nothing with this information. She doesn't even question Bob about it. So 18 years after the crimes, America's Most Wanted broadcasts it.
Mm-hmm.
And Wanda's like, no,
Like more confirmation.
Yes, exactly. She's like, I know that's Bob now. Like, Dolores denied it before. I know that's him
Like,
right now.
what was, like, does he, like, have weird, distinct features?
So he has these glasses that are super old school, like those big
No.
pedophile, like,
Oh,
wire
I knew
rims.
it. Does it have the straight thing across the nose?
Absolutely. Never changed them. He wore the same glasses.
If you're wearing them, stop now.
So Wanda calls the police and was like, this is my old neighbor. This is good old Bob Clark. They moved to Virginia. Like, this guy, I knew it. No good.
Mm-hmm.
So, not even 2 weeks after this episode airs, police show up, question him. He denies it for a while. They take him in and get a fingerprint. Well, he got rid of the photographs, but he can't get rid of his fingerprint from the military.
Oh my gosh, there's a military database.
His old fingerprint from his army file collaborates, identifies that is actually
One freaking fingerprint.
That's right. It's him.
Guys, don't go murdering people. It takes one
John
fingerprint.
List, you're busted. Just like that fingerprint.
Nice.
So he's found. So he's arrested. He immediately starts saying he has PTSD and he has OCD. The court psychiatrist collaborates with him. They agree, they corroborate his theory that he has OCD.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the way he meticulously cleaned the crime scene, the way he still ate all of his meals at the house, the way he like left everything in pristine condition, he canceled milk, canceled newspapers, like did all of these things.
Okay, so this does not mean it's premeditated and also he just had to eat and clean a murder scene? Like,
Well, no, there
he's
was...
trying to make a defense out of this?
I mean, mental health is real, though.
Yeah, but like he's been decently normal up until this point, and then all of a sudden he snaps and then becomes OCD?
And then he's fine after.
Oh,
That's
okay.
weird.
Yeah, a little questionable there.
So this is what the court psychiatrist found.
Okay.
So he's convicted 5 first-degree murders.
Mm-hmm.
Spends the rest of his life in prison. Dies at the age of 82 from pneumonia-related illnesses.
In prison.
In prison.
Wow.
And that's it.
John List.
It's alarming.
Like, it's just money. Like, it's just protecting your identity. Like, he couldn't bear.
So when Kenneth and I talked about it, Kenneth like had kind of a unique perspective on it that I didn't see. And Kenneth said, I think he's really sick. I think that like he was so OCD. There have been talks that maybe he was autistic. Like he had all these different, illnesses or maybe mental health problems that like he needed everything to be in order.
Yeah, but I think, like, I guess my perspective would be, and I don't know that he didn't have them before, but no one can corroborate that, I guess.
I think that the point to take from here was like, he was obviously super sick.
Yeah, 100% super sick.
I don't remember if I talked about it earlier, but like his pastor excused it.
Yeah. Okay.
So his pastor said that by killing the family because he thought that they were straying from the faith, like he was saving their soul.
So he was doing them a service in the
Like
end.
they were going to go to hell if he hadn't have killed them because
So he thought
did.
this was like a mercy act.
So he claimed up like until his dying day that he killed them in mercy because he loved them so much. He didn't want them to be disgraced. And
Wow.
like it saved them. And his pastor agreed with him that he didn't commit the ultimate sin that's unforgivable to the Holy Spirit, which is killing yourself. And so by killing his family, he did send them to heaven.
Okay, so when you're a Lutheran, that's the ultimate sin. I'm not religious, so like,
I honestly, like, I'm Catholic. Like, I can't, like, Catholics, I don't know. Like, killing anybody is bad.
Yeah.
I can't say, but like maybe.
But I guess in each person's head, like maybe the way you depict things is...
That sounds fucked to me, but like maybe he can justify that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He probably carried that till his dying day. Like, it's so screwed from our perspective, but like in his own head, he's rationalizing. That's nuts.
Like, I don't want to judge anybody. Like,
yeah.
you do you. And I can't say whether or not like what he did was in line with his faith.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it sounds real fucking crazy to think that that's like.
And I think most religious people would be like, no, not okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he was like super religious and like he thought he was cool. And like his coach, who's like a, pastor was like, yeah, that's good. We good to go.
Not sure that I agree on all fronts.
Like, are you sure?
It's all very confusing to me.
You're like a yes man, huh?
I don't know that Jim Carrey would even like approve, like as the OG yes man.
Oh, Jim Carrey would definitely not approve.
Also, go look up Jim Carrey. Super insightful. It's really crazy.
Like,
it's really impressive. Like,
he's crazy.
In a good way. I like him.
I think he's kind of bonkers. Okay, I need to look it up.
This is why we're friends, because we agree on nothing.
But we have, like, respect for each other.
I agree 100%. But yeah, look it up. It's cool stuff.
You're crazy and I'm crazy and...
We're just crazy in different ways, so it works.
We're crazy.
We're a happy balance.
We are literally like yin and yang. If there could be personifications of them.
Yeah, we are them.
Which one's darker?
I don't know.
I'm the darker. Like, you're the sunshine, and I'm the darker one.
We'll Goog this. We'll let you know next episode, which is which.
Hit up that Goog.
So, thanks for joining us for True Crime and Red Wine. Our first episode. We're excited you're here. So, we have set up a Gmail account at truecrimeandredwine@gmail.com. So, every, I don't know, here and there, is that a time period? Every other episode? We're not sure yet. We want to tell your story. So if you have a creepy story, an unsolved story, something weird that has happened in your own life, shoot those stories to us. What else? What else do we want to hear about?
Maybe just like creepy little instances that, like, not even like true crime, just like those weird, where you're like, oh.
Oh, like it happened to you? Like,
yeah, exactly.
ew.
Like that wasn't right.
Ooh, like ghosts? Ugh. I don't like that.
Ghosts freak me out, but I'm so here for it.
I'll be here for it. I don't like it, but I'm here.
Like, just do it. And if, like, aliens abducted you, that's okay.
Okay.
We're here.
Also, that was an Unsolved Mysteries one that totally freaked me out. Yeah, so send us all your weird stuff. Any stories that we...
Your demon possessions, I'm gonna watch it. Like,
I don't know if I can handle that.
Covering my face.
Nope.
But, like, we're here.
I'll read it. I don't know if we'll cover it, but we'll read it.
I'm here. Like, we'll see.
And like Leslie and I have Leslie.
Thank you.
And I have our own favorite, podcasts and shows. But if you have a story that you think we haven't heard of or covered, maybe send those in. Like, let us know what you want to hear about. Or if you have a favorite red wine, we want to know what it is.
What were you drinking tonight?
Are you going to judge me?
No.
Just a little bit?
No.
Okay. She's going to judge me a little bit.
I'm not.
It's called... okay, hold on. Let me get the bottle. It's called... So I love Malbec. This much I do know.
I love Malbec.
I do know I love a Malbec. This is literally called Chalkboard Malbec. It's 2019. It's nothing fancy.
It was just made.
But let me tell you, the whole bottle is gone. So if that can speak to...
It was delicious.
How good it was. What is yours? What do you have on your nightstand?
Okay, so mine on my nightstand in our cozy bed is a Winter's Hill Pinot Noir. It's a 2015 and it's from Oregon.
So go get it. It was good. I did taste hers and I tasted mine. Again, we are not, what are they called? Sommeliers?
Sommelier.
Yes, we are not those.
We're not bougie.
So they tasted real good. That's all we know.
We like them. We drank them all.
Yeah. So go try them and send us your faves and maybe we'll pick them up before next week's episode. So email us your stories and thank you for joining us tonight for True Crime and
Red Wine.
Bye.
Love you, killers. boo. Wait, did you make boo boo?
Poo poo or boo? He said you're boo boo.
Wait, can we make this stop?
No, I don't think so. We can edit it.
Okay. Do you poop? Oh, you're boo boo.
That's